The first step of this cycle is you see someone with locks in person, you see a picture, a video, you hear about someone's locks or about this new technique, or you are introduced to locks either in a new way or again or for the first time. Okay, so you see locks either literally or you imagine it in your head. This cycle is how things go if all goes well. So you see the locks and then you start to fall in love. This can be something as small and simple as you admire what they look like and admiration comes out of that. It could be you appreciate the journey or the process. You appreciate what someone else has made happen for their locks and their life. You approve of what it looks like. Maybe it's something you had never seen before and you see this and you're like, oh, I like how that looks. It could be you see yourself with locks, and in some cases it becomes an infatuation. You're obsessed with the look, the idea of locks. You want to be on the journey, or you want to have low maintenance. You don't want to do your hair at all. Something about it appeals to you and you are like, oh my goodness, yes. Maybe you see a trend and you want to jump on that trend. These are all the ways that you can fall in love with locks. The next stage in this progression of the cycle of love is now you want locks. Or you have some kind of desire for them. You can see yourself with locks, maybe sometime long in the future after XYZ happens, maybe after your hair grows out a little bit, after your perm is gone, after you color your hair, but you can see it becoming a part of your life, a next step after whatever. For some people, that love leads and they're like, I have to have this. Or it just could be, there's something appealing. I want to know more. I desire to get better acquainted with this thing called locks. Or maybe what you saw was someone's after or your hashtag hair goal outcome, and you're like, that's what I want right there. That's the look that I'm looking for. And so you begin to associate it with yourself. It's no longer just something that you love. It's something that you're beginning to turn inward and say, maybe this could be for me. Or that looks like exactly what I'm looking for. Or I'm going to do it. This is exactly what I want or need. And sometimes when people are obsessed or infatuated with locks, that's what moves them into this desire. And that desire comes very quickly. It's almost like steps 2 and 3 are one and the same, the love and want. And then it progresses. So the next level is investment or commitment. Now this can look like doing research, investing your time into figuring out more about this locks thing, figuring out more about a specific kind of lock, researching if there's someone in your area, or researching how to do it on your own, if that's possible, researching prices. You begin to invest time. You start to pay more attention to locks in general. The lock journey begins long before people even get locks, but it continues long after you've decided for or against them or have moved on or not. So you're investing your attention to noticing when other people have locks. For some, this means you find someone and you consult with a loctician. For some people, this means you're on YouTube searching for locks videos, for installs, tips, strategies, all the things. At another level, this could be maintaining your locks. Maybe you already have locks and you've gone through this process and you you want to invest more into your locks. Maybe you haven't been maintaining them. Maybe you haven't been getting retightenings or retwists. And now you're like, I want to invest more in my locks because of what you saw, fell in love with, and the desire that it developed within you. Again, this could be money. This could be paying for maintenance, paying for a consult, paying for driving out to a consultant, or paying to order tools, paying for information online, buying books. You are investing according to your want or desire. Going from want and desire to investment and commitment is a big decision. It's not the biggest decision, but it is big for some people. This is where they pause. This is where they take the most time. Investment a lot of times is time. This could be weighing the pros and cons of even doing the thing. That could be getting an install. That could be installing someone else's locks. That could be becoming an advocate for locks, starting a YouTube channel or Instagram profile or Facebook group. Investment looks like so many different things depending on where you are in the lock journey. The point is, it's a big decision and a pause point for a lot of people. Moving on to the next level is a big deal. The next phase is happiness. Happiness can be very short-lived or it can be long-term. But this can be you seeing the potential in this thing called locks. This can be you being relieved that you found something that you know or hope is going to work for you, or you're relieved that you got your install done. You are happy with what it looks like and you're just excited. It's meeting your expectations or exceeding your expectations. You feel like you're slaying this hair thing. You're feeling freedom from all of the drama that you've experienced in the past, things that you have let go of, depending on where you are in your journey and your personal growth on the journey. This could also be just genuine elation about where you're at in your life, especially the deeper you go into the journey and personal growth and becoming invested in faith as part of your commitment to trusting the process. I'm just generally calling it happiness, but it can be a gamut. Again, this can be very short-lived or it can be long-term or anywhere in between. And then there's a point when you see locks again. Now, this could be you looking in the mirror, seeing your own locks after you've got an install or an establishment. This could be you seeing someone else. This could be your tester locks after a consult. This could be a picture. This could be a video. This could be somebody talking about locks and you visualizing in your head. Depending on where you are in the physical process or your journey, you may or may not like what you see. You may have doubts or questions or are feeling some kind of way about your hair, locks in general, or someone else's hair, things differently. Seeing could also be a new perspective. For example, if you see a post that someone puts it on social media, when you see and you don't go back into the love part of the cycle, you step out of the love cycle and into the hate cycle. Now, this is not full-blown hate, but the first step is to see and have some form of unhappiness or negative emotion. You could be disappointed, you could be angry, you could be unsure or sad or annoyed or even bored with locks. Your own, somebody else's, this whole concept of locks, like all of the things, anything depending on how it relates to you and where you're at. And At this point, you're no longer 100% satisfied. If that's negative 1% or negative 100%, this is also if you're lacking full satisfaction, if you disapprove with something that has been done because, again, of what you saw, or your full approval is not there, it's questionable, you have mixed feelings, your expectations are unmet or unfulfilled, or you just have a change of heart. So going from that second look to this emotion takes you out, again, out of the cycle of love and into the cycle of hate. Now, you have two options here. When you start to feel any form of negative emotion, you might look again. You might see again. And that seeing again takes you back into the cycle of love, potentially. It can also take you right back out. Big change of heart. I'm no longer investing. I no longer desire this. And I no longer love locs. And again, this can look like whatever it means to you, but you're basically uncommitted. You're removing or decreasing your level of commitment. And that puts you in a place of hate. We're just calling it hate. There's different levels of this, but at the end of the day, you're not committing, you're not investing, you're not desiring or wanting anything to do with it for yourself or for other people. And that love or approval or admiration that you felt at first is no longer there. Now, it is possible to come out of this hate. And that's, again, to see locs, either to see yourself again at another level or another phase of the loc journey, to see someone else's before and afters, to hear about their story and to visualize it in your head.
And hate. This is the cycle of loc love and hate. Notice that the cycle of loc love is contained in itself. And there's steps 1 through 5. Please do not feel like you have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because each of these steps can be happening at the same time. They often overlap, and it could go out of order. So as long as at any given time, one of those things is happening, that lets you know that you're in the cycle of loc love. Second thing, notice the arrow coming out of the cycle of loc love is blue. That's neutral. That means that it is common and okay to fall out of the cycle of loc love. It happens, it's normal, and all of those feelings are valid. The problem comes when we do not find ourselves moving. If we stay in those feelings, or if we descend into loc hate itself, which is step 8, that is where it becomes an issue. There is always an option to come back to love. And that begins with another look, which is a new perspective. What I like to call a shift. Now, when it comes to love and the cycle of loc love, and you shifting from not loving your locs to loving your locs, I call that a hair freedom shift. Loving your hair no matter what. Now, here's a big thing. It's actually best for you to be in the cycle of loc love, even if you do not wear locs yourself. Again, loving locs can be loving them on someone else. Wanting locs can be wanting them from someone else. It can be advocating for the loc lifestyle. It is actually an indicator of your own self-love. if you can love locks without wearing them. And it is an indicator of an issue within yourself if you are in lock hate. If you cannot love them for someone else, if you cannot want them for someone else, if you cannot invest in them for someone else. And really the cannot part, it's a choice. The beauty of this cycle is that you can always choose love again. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you hear freedom shift so that you can love your locks no matter what, or love your natural hair no matter what, and stay in that cycle of lock love. It is my hypothesis that part of the problem with the natural hair movement is that there was a lot of hate happening for natural hair, for those who either weren't natural or weren't a certain kind of natural, and people were spiraling into that hate place. But just to get you thinking about why it is so important to have and to advocate for and to want for yourself to stay in the cycle of lock love, because it perpetuates love for everyone in the locked community, in the natural hair community, in the greater community beyond black hair. Do you see what I'm saying? This is so important, which is why I felt like it was necessary for me to illustrate what it is that I have seen.